Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I just got back from watching the new Nosferatu film. This is a remake or a retelling of the classic 1922 silent horror film, but this isn't just any old remake. It comes with a modern twist, a fresh vision, and from a director that knows how to keep the audience on the edge of their seat, a director who's made many a creepy movie. So let's find out if this Nosferatu remake lives up to its vampiric legacy, and the hype that many people have had of this movie being the best horror movie of the year. Let's talk about the director, Robert Eggers. Now, Eggers is no stranger to historical horror and beautiful yet disturbing imagery. You might have seen his previous movies, The Witch from 2015 or The Lighthouse from 2019. In both of those films, Eggers has shown a talent for blending psychological horror with historical period pieces, crafting engaging cinema and telling stories that feel grounded in a nightmare-like reality. And with Nosferatu, I'm happy to report that he brings the same approach, feeding audiences a true gothic horror experience that is both haunting and visually stunning. It feels like every single shot of this movie is just wonderfully photographed. It is just a treat for the eyes to look at. It's dark, it's moody, and filled with these dimly lit scenes that evoke a feeling of dread. Every frame feels like a painting, which is quite fitting considering Nosferatu's roots in the silent film era. You can really feel the influence of German expressionism as Eggers plays with light and shadow, creating a film student's wet dream. Now let's talk about the absolutely stacked cast of actors in this movie. The role of Count Orlok, aka Nosferatu, is played by Bill Skarsgård. You probably remember Bill Skarsgård from his role as Pennywise the Clown in the It franchise, and he's back again playing a weirdo covered in makeup and prosthetic. He doesn't look anything like he is in real life, and he's got a very thick accent in this movie, but I gotta say, he delivers as the legacy of vampiric Nosferatu. He gives a great performance that is charismatic but also incredibly terrifying. As for the other key characters, we get Nicholas Hoult, who plays Thomas Hutter, the man responsible for dealing with Nosferatu's real estate plans as he moves home into the new township where his love exists, and Nicholas Hoult's character gets pulled into a vampiric love triangle. Lily Rose Depp plays Ellen Hutter, a woman who is psychologically tormented by Nosferatu, this horrible vampiric force, and she does a lot of shaking and possessive acting. She's all shaking around during the entire movie. And Willem Dafoe. Oh, Willem Dafoe. He's a frequent collaborator with Eggers and once again brings his charismatic side to this film, his on-screen magic. He is just a real treat to watch, and he's so amazing as this eccentric, strange, occult-obsessed professor who assists our main characters with dealing with the threat of Nosferatu. He's probably one of my favorite parts of the movie. His character just injects a lot more intrigue into the story, and Willem Dafoe, man, what more can I say? He's just so great in this film. Now let's get into the heart of the film, the plot. Nosferatu follows the basic premise of the original silent film, but is also heavily inspired by Bram Stoker's novel, Dracula, with Count Orlok's obsessive love for a woman bringing him to her township. But Eggers doesn't just copy the original film. There's a deeper psychological element at play. With this movie, there are themes of isolation, madness, and the curse of immortality, the curse of the vampire. Turning this remake into something that feels timeless but also fresh. It's a tribute to the original story, but it tries to dig deeper into this idea that the human condition is at the root of this vampiric curse. This is the classic vampire tale of love and sorrow wrapped in a gothic ribbon. So the question is Nosferatu worth your time? Is it worth going to the cinema to watch this movie? If you're a fan of Eggers' previous movies and his unique style of filmmaking, then absolutely, you're going to enjoy this film. Hell, I'll go as far to say you're probably going to love this movie. This is a masterclass of mood, tension, and gothic storytelling. This is a horror movie that has jump scares, but is also about that tragedy, that real gross morbidness of the gothic genre. This feels like a real passion project, like a really good tribute to the original film and the legacy of Dracula on screen, but it feels new, it feels fresh, it feels like something horror audiences can really dig into and enjoy, and it feels like a piece of true cinema. That being said, if you are very familiar with the story of Dracula and Nosferatu, then you might feel a little bit underwhelmed. You can really tell that Eggers wanted to keep the main bones of the story intact and to really, pay tribute to the classic gothic story. Overall, I think Nosferatu is definitely worth your time, especially if you are a fan of horror movies. That being said, I think there are some horror fans that are not going to like this movie at all because it is a film that is very slow, it's a slow burn, and it's full of dialogue. So just be prepared for that when you go to watch this movie. This is not an action-packed romp at the cinema. This is a slow-paced gothic horror. Well, that's it for today's little quick surprise video. Have you seen Nosferatu? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Did it live up to your expectations? Did it live up to the hype? I know this movie was on the top of a lot of people's expectation lists for the year, so let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Remember to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for the love of horror. Remember to keep being creative, continue to be spooky, and I'll see you in the next video.